Sky Squad, we are back in the building and it's time to talk Wendy Williams again. I feel like once a week we're talking Wendy Williams and it's that time again. Apparently, the Wendy Williams wants either Miss Lanithia Leaks or Miss Marlo Hampton to be on her new podcast, The Wendy Williams Experience. Okay. So before we get into the whole ponderosa of it all, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell button, and join the texting community. All of the texting information is in the description of this video, as will be all the links to the sources for everything that we talk about today. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, I was first made aware of the Wendy Williams Experience podcast. I was referred to a video by my girl Chronicle Speaks. I don't know her personally, but I love her content. So when Shamar sent me this message with the video, I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, let me find out what's going on." Okay, so I'm gonna put that link in the description of this video because listen, when I tell you I kikied at that video, and I want you guys to have that same kiki too. But anyway, let's get into what we got to talk about today. Okay. Some new developments. All right. So let me just give you a little bit of the tea that's going on. So I don't know if you guys are aware, Wendy Williams has a new Instagram page, and it is under the Wendy Williams Experience podcast. For those of you guys who didn't know. All right. So there are only 3 posts here. All right. And the caption or the bio reads, "Jump on board for the new wave and everything Wendy Williams. The Wendy Williams Experience will be unforgettable. Stay fabulous." Now, it has a link to one of the TMZ articles. Well, really, the video that y'all really went in on. Okay. Now, I will admit, when I first saw this video, I got to tell you guys, I wanted to remain hopeful because for those of you guys who don't know, I am a huge Wendy Williams fan. Like, I would be going to her Instagram and her YouTube, or mostly her YouTube, every day because I was never able to watch the show. And I was watching Wendy Williams. I mean, Wendy Williams allowed so many of us to see that you can work in this industry and do it your own way. And so I'm just a huge Wendy Williams fan. And so even when I saw that interview and I noticed, her, I tried to remain as optimistic as possible because we're talking about somebody's health. And I never want to speak anything ill onto someone unnecessarily. So there were some moments in the interview that were a little bit cringe, but I likened it to this moment right here. A lot of you guys will recall this moment from way back in the day, and if you don't, I'm about to open it up to you. I equated it to this moment
What
right
are you
here.
looking forward to seeing? Well, is that what it is? I was wondering, what is that?
So this was an interview from back in the original American Idol days that Paula Abdul was doing, and it was for a morning news telecast. And it just kind of went off the rails, and people were accusing her of being drunk, of being on medications and whatnot. And just to give you a little bit more insight, here's what else happened.
Somebody else must be talking to Paula. Are you there, Paula? Paula, good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to ask that question one more time, okay? I'll tell you. Okay, what do Idol fans have to look forward to this season? What are you looking forward to?
I don't know if she can hear us right now.
I think we're having audio problems.
Yeah,
Wow.
we are.
So I kind of equated that to this moment right here, right? And I was hopeful because Paula Abdul was able to, turn it around, right? So for me, I was thinking to myself, maybe the same will happen for Wendy. All right. I guess, and again, I am ever the optimist, ever the hopeful person. But I don't know if this is the route to go. And I'm going to tell you guys why. Okay. So, Wendy Williams has this manager, Will Selby. So Will Selby is a jeweler, and he also has a PR and marketing company, a media management agency as well. And he has some production experience in terms of podcasts from what I can see here. Okay. So there is a little bit of experience that's going into this, right? And so let me bring you guys up to speed on who exactly he is. I'm going to bring you up to speed in terms of some visuals. All right. And you guys, when you go to the Wendy Williams Experience podcast, you guys will see that this IG story is still up here, and this is a better look at at Will Selby, the jeweler, who is now managing her. So he basically, has talked about them producing this new podcast. He says, "We haven't taped an episode just yet. Every time we've wanted to do so, someone is trying to offer me something so that they can partner with us." He says, "I started the process of considering shooting something with our first potential guest as Fat Joe." Okay. He's ideal because he's somebody that she trusts. He's a New York icon, and he was the last person that she spoke to. I figured we should pick it up from there. Now, let me give you some tea about what this podcast is allegedly supposed to be about. Okay. He said it's not going to be a traditional podcast as there's a visual component as well. He says, "I want to shoot everything in her home. I want the full Wendy experience, everything from filming in her glam room or shooting in the kitchen with her favorite chefs as they prepare food for her and her guests. I want Wendy to feel like she could be as open and honest as possible, and I want everything to be at her home." Now, so according to him, he believes that this will allow fans to see a more personal side of Wendy Williams. He says, besides the scandals that have come out, nobody knows what color she likes. Nobody knows what fashion designer she loves the most. Nobody knows her favorite type of food or her favorite type of music that she likes to dance to and what activities she's into. So I want it to be raw, organic experience for the artist and for Wendy herself as well. Now, there are plans to talk to platforms like Amazon and Audible, but allegedly he's leaning towards doing it themselves, but not against a production company or network or someone coming along and picking it up and, financially giving them what's fair and shooting it collectively with them. Now, um, he says that they've been in discussions for a while now and that he had an inclination of her show going awry and in a different direction for quite some time. He says, "I told her, you have the voice of radio. A podcast will be ideal for you. And then as we get to add the visual elements to it, it's like the best of both worlds. I was putting the bug in her ear while she was still on the show." Allegedly. Okay. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but when you go back the into the archives of news, you may recall in 2020 there were rumors of the two of them dating. Okay? Now, this was again back in 2020, all right? And then also, according to page 6, Wendy Williams denied dating jeweler William Selby. Okay? So if you go to his Instagram page, I mean, you'll see all of the jewelry and stuff like that he's, designed or worked on and put out, and, different people that he's worked with and different podcasts that I believe that he's also worked with as well. So then, as you take things further and you really dig into what is allegedly going on around Wendy Williams, her brother is insisting that she is not the Wendy that we all knew and loved. Okay. Her brother is saying that basically it's not the content that is the truth, but the physical. So he says, "I'm very supportive of Wendy. I've tried to keep things under wraps in terms of her health. But she is fighting. She is struggling. She is working her way back to being Wendy. No, she is not the Wendy we all knew. And it's very sad. It's very heart-wrenching, very disappointing, and it's very frustrating. Okay. Now, he says that he's tried helping her, but Wendy won't let him or other family members into her life. He also said that Wendy is in denial about her current state of her health, bringing up her TMZ interview and everything that you guys were pointing out that I was refusing to acknowledge. Man, let me tell you something. I think I just want Wendy Williams back so bad, but I just don't know if this is the right situation. Her brother says her health is the situation. The fact that she needs to be away from people that are doing her wrong, that's the situation. The fact that family is all down here in South Florida and Wendy is up in New York by herself. He says, I want to be there badly, but I'm not brought in. It's not because Wendy and I are not in a good space, because we are, but mentally she's not on board. Oppositionally, she doesn't want me near because she realizes that I'm here to help and I might have some validity to a lot of things I'm trying to push on her. So therefore, she pushes me away. So I guess in my final thoughts about this situation, as we look to her, Instagram, and we see that she's, looking towards potentially, having one of the Atlanta ladies, okay, on her show, on her podcast, as she's asking which she should have one first. We're getting a closer look into, what appears to be her apartment, or at least out shopping. I guess we can say shopping. No, I don't have any idea of when this photo was taken or anything like that, but it just begs the question that she's asking, which one should they have on first? Given what we've seen, given what her brother has stated, and then given what we've seen in the past when Wendy has tried to film her show from her home, I just don't know if the visual component is the best route to go. I think perhaps at this point in time, it may be best to just allow her to take some time away from the spotlight and just focus on her health. For as much as we all want her back, I just don't know if this is the route to go at this point in time. And I'm interested in hearing what you guys think as the story continues to develop. Also, are you following the Wendy Experience podcast on Instagram? Let a brother know. I'm following because I'm here reporting on the situation. So I feel like I got to put my feelings aside and just try to push through and, obviously pray for the best. But we'll be watching this situation and we'll just see what's happening. Let me know again what your thoughts are down in the comments down below, and I will catch you guys in the next video.